member in Parliament for Finance. And because of his sterling leadership, he was promoted, and today is a leader of the NDC caucus in Parliament. He is a proud son of this region, the Central Region. The Member of Parliament for the good people of Ejumaku Enyan is Siam. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, welcome to the microphone the Minority Leader, Honorable Dr. Atoforsen.
Ayezu Kewei, fellow countrymen and women, you have just listened to the leader and the flag bearer of the great NDC, and God willing, the next president of the Republic of Ghana. My duty here is to present highlights of key policies of the next NDC government as captured in the Manifesto 2024. Colleagues, to achieve our fiscal policy and economic goals, the next NDC government will aggressively pursue the following policies. 1. We will reset resource mobilization and effective utilization of public funds. 2. We will shift from the over-concentration of the macroeconomy to the microeconomy, where investment in the real sector will anchor sustainable macroeconomic environment and economic growth. We will implement an enduring economic policy to build sustainable economic buffers to stabilize and cushion the Ghana cedi. We will undertake a number of reforms. First is the value-added tax reform, VAT reforms. Currently, Ghana's effective VAT rate is about 22%. In fact, the highest in Africa. This is because Get Fund levy of 2.5%, National Health Insurance levy of another 2.5%, and COVID levy of 1% are all added to the statutory VAT rate of 15% for the final determination of a value-added tax. Businesses are not allowed to deduct their input VAT for NHIL, Get Fund, and COVID levy. Aside the high effective VAT rate, Ghanaians are compelled to pay 3 and 6% of flat rate for VAT purposes. This effectively defeats the key principles of the input-output of the value-added tax regime. In fact, some businesses are now unable to cope with this high tax regime, and as a result, they are relocating from Ghana to places like Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, and Nigeria. It's also a fact that this is part of the reasons why some of our citizens, particularly professionals, are migrating out of our country in droves in search for greener pastures. The NPP government has distorted Ghana's value-added tax policy by implementing both sales tax and value-added tax at the same time. This is indeed the height of incompetence on the part of NPP in tax policy formulation and administration. Our pledge: the next NDC government will undertake a comprehensive review of Ghana's VAT regime. This is indeed intended to provide a relief for households and businesses. We will therefore adhere to the underlying input-output principles of the value-added tax regime. The next NDC government will do the following: 1. Abolish the COVID levy. 2. We will reverse the decoupling of the Get Fund, NHIL, and COVID levy from the value-added tax system. will reduce the effective VAT rate from the 22% to a bearable limit. We'll reverse the VAT flat rate and we will upwardly adjust the VAT registration threshold to exempt micro and small businesses from the collection of value-added tax. We will improve VAT compliance through public education and awareness. Aside the VAT reforms, we will also undertake a public debt management reforms. In fact, to restore confidence in Ghana's economy and the capital market, and to prevent a repeat of President Akufo-Addo and Vice President Bawumia's reckless and excessive borrowing that resulted in crude and painful haircuts, the next NDC government will establish an independent public debt management office to ensure effective public debt management. We'll also review and enforce the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Act 982, and implement a fiscal consolidation plan to ensure fiscal discipline. We will also implement a deliberate policy to build sustainable economic buffers to cushion and stabilize the Ghana cedi. We will also undertake a public expenditure management reforms. And in doing so, we will tackle the wastage of public funds and ensure prudent expenditure management. And we will also do the following. We will establish an independent value for money office to scrutinize government procurement above a threshold to be determined by Parliament. We'll reset the entire fiscal framework and implement a robust fiscal policy regime for effective utilization of public funds. Colleagues, historically, the Ghanaian economy has been the second largest in West Africa, aside Nigeria. But Ghana has lost its enviable position to Cote d'Ivoire due to lack of investment and dedicated policy towards economic transformation and growth. As at end 2016, the size of Ghana's economy was 55 billion Ghana cedis, representing the second in West Africa, while that of Cote d'Ivoire was 48 billion Ghana cedis, the third largest in West Africa. However, in 2022, Ghana lost its enviable position of the second largest economy in West Africa to Cote d'Ivoire. As at the time, in the year 2022, Ghana's GDP was $73 billion, while that of Ivory Coast was $75 billion. So since independence, for the first time, Ivory Coast overtook us in terms of the size of GDP as at the year 2022. This situation is projected to worsen by end of this year, while the Ivory Coast GDP is projected to be $89 billion. Ghana's projected GDP by end of this year is estimated to be $75 billion. Honorable members and colleagues, in order to reverse this downward trend, the next NDC government will introduce and implement a $10 billion big push. This big push is aimed at driving the needed focus and investment for economic growth and transformation. The big push will be a major economic policy of the next NDC government with 4 key economic growth poles. First is the Western Corridor Economic Enclave project, and then second is the Eastern Corridor Golden Growth Agenda. The third is the Transformational Road Transport Plan, and the fourth is the Cocoa and Palm Economic Crop Rejuvenation Program. Ladies and gentlemen, the NPP government has been a monumental failure. They have destroyed our livelihood. They have indeed driven our economy aground. They have collapsed Ghana's cocoa sector. They have wasted and dissipated Ghana's public fund. They have destroyed our good governance. They have reversed the progress of our country. They have delivered crude and painful haircuts across board. They have corrupted the moral fiber of our dear country. And of course, they have implemented the Ejapadiye state capture plan. Let me say, fellow countrymen and women, that the time has come for us to come together to restore our country and reset our country. Many of them Ghana for Abani or da Hochero Stronko or da Brehen. Abani wait hinewu. Yada yenda. Ujume nyiho. Imbransi nye jumanye. Nkatesia su wenye jumanye. Miyaraka se sisiare. Se wiye school mpo enyi medare babaye. Wama Hochero kesaba. Daya tutu siramonye de. Abani otuda nkasa ontumi yemu onyiyi. Baby a wadi Ghana question. Sambaka moho. Ambaka President Mahama no ho. Ambaka ya chireba. Yen sister. Yen mami. Professor Nana Jane. Opoku ajima no ho. Ne yambua yen papa oye President John Mahama ho. Mini anom. Anho chiren obeji nseme fi Ghana ha. Daya tutu siramo de. Mumbua hen fifi manto mufo. Mwamu nyimide NDC party ze. Yaka party odwene yen ho a. Oninyi NDC party. Imbri biara ba wobua hen. Yatutu siramo ina. Mumbaka yen ho. Ne yen na Ghana onye ye. Usande baby a Ghana rokon. Waya humutsododo. Baby o mani kwei. Se yanka mbom na se yamje o mani MF MPP wonsema. Ekroyi obesei. Madam wasi bebre nyame hiramu ina.
That is our minority leader in Parliament, the Honorable Atokeso. Forson. We are moving straight to agriculture and agribusiness, and we are inviting on stage the Honorable Eric Opoku, MP for Isunafo South and ranking member for the Parliamentary Committee on Food and Agriculture. The Honorable Eric Opoku. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Your Excellency, the incoming President of the Republic of Ghana, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I crave your indulgence to stand on the established protocols to dissect the agricultural policies of the next NDC government. The agricultural sector is confronted with low production, low productivity, food losses, limited markets, and poor access to credit, among others. These have largely been occasioned by low investment in the agricultural modernization and the entire value chain, leading to food insecurity and the alarmingly high food inflation the nation is grappling with. Also confronting the sector is the problem of climate change and environmental degradation, aggravated by the increased rate of illegal mining. It is estimated that Ghana spends $2 billion, CD equivalent of almost 32 billion, to import food annually to supplement local production. This places undue pressure on the CD. Hence, the exchange rate, which was $1 to 4 cedis in 2016, is now $1 to almost 16 cedis in Ghana. We import tomatoes, pepper, onions, palm oil, among several other items. Trade data from Ghana Vegetable Producers and Exporters Association indicate that the annual tomato import from neighboring Burkina Faso has hit a staggering $400 million from an estimated $99.5 million in 2018. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in 2022, our national demand for pepper was 314,000 metric tons, out of which 121 metric tons, constituting 38.5%, was produced locally and 61.5% imported. Ghana spent a whopping $354.9 million on the importation of pepper into Ghana. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, food inflation, which was 22.6% in May 2024, is a major contributor to inflation in Ghana. The World Bank has ranked Ghana 6th in Africa with the highest food inflation. Ghana which recorded its lowest food inflation of 5% in July 2024, under John Dramani Mahama, has recorded its highest of 61% in January 2023 under Nanado Bawumia government. According to the Food and Agricultural Organization FAO, in terms of the prevalence of more than 12.9 million people, or 39.4% of the total population, were affected in 2022. According to the World Bank, the rising food inflation has pushed 850 into poverty, joining the 6 million already in that category. Ghana has paid $12 million for the Pualugu multipurpose dam, for which no work has been done. Ghana's unemployment rate hit 14.7% in 2023. Ghana has expended almost $3 billion on a program called Planting for Food and Jobs, intended to ensure food availability and affordability. Yet, food inflation is ballooning. The next NDC government is committed to addressing these challenges through an Agriculture for Economic Transformation Agenda, ITA, which will focus on modernizing agriculture and promoting agribusiness to reduce food inflation, ensure food security, boost exports, and create sustainable jobs. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one of the strategies crafted for the realization of the ITA is the Feed Ghana program, which will drive our nation towards food sufficiency. The program is imperative considering the imbalances between food production and consumption in Ghana. Under this program, the NDC government will feed the Ghanaian people as well as Ghanaian industries. We will foster symbiotic relationships between agriculture and industry to unlock the full potentials of our state and liberate the entire citizenry from abject poverty. Interventions for the realization of the objectives include, under food crops, the implementation of a transformational grains development project to enhance the production of tomatoes, onions, pepper, and other vegetables. Under poultry, we are going to revamp the collapsing poultry industry. By agriculture and the blue economy as follows: water resources of the country and use them in a sustainable way to enhance economic development. Enhance aquaculture through improved fish genetics, commercial fingerling production, strengthen quality assurance and disease control, and support research and development in fisheries and aquaculture through institutional resources. Restore efficient pre-mixed fuel distribution through landing beach committees. Provide technology to fishers and enhance sea security to optimize. Ghana cocoa adwumana say ewa omaimu. Cocoa ayewra mama penso 2016 yati cocoa enya 969,000 tons. And then I was say, Cocoa Ghana train or afi 2024 nyina no 450,000 tons. Cocoa yera mama toye 2013 cocoa board nyamfaso, 2014 cocoa board nyamfaso, 2015 cocoa board nyamfaso. Ebra Nana Akufo-Addo ene Bawumia ebedi akonwan 2017 cocoa board boka, 2018 cocoa board boka, 2019 cocoa board boka, 2020 cocoa board boka, 2021 cocoa board boka, 2022 cocoa board boka. Arawo say 2023 omo di aba abonte say omo nyamfaso ye ka krom say nya no krese cocoa board nyamfaso omo si de nti omo nyamfaso no say omo tu omo kani ahyeda da achi ya fie nti utifiri mu de a omo nyamfaso no abusuafo se sia ye say for the first time in our history cocoa sika banye omu yusu no office and om de kakra bi ekọ akuafo ne nchen epeja free 1.7 billion osam kra cocoa ye ton Ghana nyina ye 655,000 now so afayefo na ahwe cocoa no so aboka no om de om tua bonus e de ma wo mo ho sesi aye ka sei nyame yadma na watwe wa yanim no e wo se aban odi cocoa buo eba ebuo foforo a wode ma Ghana akuafo Ghana enfia aduasam yenu ni de ayaya ne say yakwa amansan dwom ne akwaje bosia ensi hu wo fom ne ade abeto cocoa ne ade cocoa no akotuaka NDC time 2016 yakwa ya no yaje 1.8 billion dollars na ensi hu no eye 1.5%. Yetimi ye ni nyina kama etuaka oha obi anya dai ama afi atwa mu no 2023 Ghana kopa bosiana na yape 1.5 billion dollars yakwa emrafo no say omo yesa ne yesi yakoko sector na yentimi ntua enti yenya 1.5 billion yenya 800 million dollars 800 million dollars ne yede beto koko na yenya koko ni nyina anto sika no so nyina sa enti dubra se yakotua no yentimi antua ni nyina enti se yede akosi bronika koko no ton baako 350,000 ton bia nso ye bag dunsia enti koko a we yanim na sia no sayete a awose yete ton 350,000 ekotuaka ansa na de beka no yakuafo no atumi anya bi sesia enei bosia yakopa beto koko no koko board ko ya anya bi wo ma twatro se o ma na so o mo nkoji bio no mu pe bi wo Ghana ha bosia na yagina brochire no ehun si hu no ya na so a Ghana ha bosia wanya no fofofo kra no 30% interest and so be den waka say ehwo de no muwa je so obaje ha de na eno na ebebua wo na de otosum ye no say cocoa board na match omo twere nkata akoma omo babosia ni nyina say obi amra na mo meboa ye yema mama ya bosia omde nkata ni nyina akasai se okuta cocoa bag na wa also koton na brochire ewa brochire dwoma wo se saba Ghana sika mu a cocoa bag bia no eye 9,720 cedis 97 million cocoa bag baako enti ya hwe aban no se de 6,000 dear. I was saw the ma akuafo no. Sa bayan fasa amma akuafo na. 60 million and ye na edonkuma ye ne akuafo ebete aban no sutua. And this Yaban say, Yabaya. Human the other kind Mumfu, Yakoton Coco na, Nibuano, Yadimu, Chichemu Hano at your son 70%, and the Mercury for. Sesia Coco was a CA, Abanu Chemuna, Abai Famiansa, and what about a Mercury for. Yera Mama so be Diaconia, Sawashak for ya, Coco Manoso Bede, Ebeye. Enti sika beba koko no no wade dodo ni nyina bema akuafo no na omo de adua koko no dodo na magana nso so enya mfaso afa koko kuani bia wo Ghana se yewra mama be bia konwa ya koko kuani bia obeko hospital free health insurance unya bio ebi se koko board ebe ye health insurance e dia ma koko kuani bia eti ya ma card na wo ye koko kuani a ya register wa wi a wanya card no eno an se wo de ko hospital ewu a Coco Bobessa renew Amawa, Kuani Biabaco Hospital, won't fear you. A fay, a 4 bonus na Irano, and this year by beside the bonus na a day, I baby you. A fay no, I fertilizer, you Rajon Mama, or Togu Ho, say a Vanya Cocono, or tractor who not for sale, not for sale. A Brian Franco, so near and chef fertilizer in me, not the one go office. Young man before buying. I'm so much of a less than 80 Ghana. If you have one engineer and talk into a man who office hot proy. Auditor General, the report of Brave Parliament to say, fertilizer a proy and Kuano cities. Ayat Tisikano, almost 240. Billion. Omumanugu office SAIFA. Yabiabie cocoa processing factories. Na ye cocoa na no ye timidi bia ye chocolate ni bebre wa ha na ya farm ma en mu nana no nyina nso adwuma medamase nyame hiramu.
Thank you very much, MP for Isunafo South and ranking member for the Parliamentary Committee on Food and Agriculture. That was revealing. Thank you very much. Coco Boda Brankasa. Anyway, moving on, let's introduce some of our chiefs who have joined us. Osaberi Makwekwata II is Omahine of the Ogwa traditional. A round of applause for him. Dasibre Kwebu Ewusi VII. Former Vice Chairman of the House of Chiefs and the Chief of Abiaze. Thank you very much for your time, Nana. Oketeku Kome, the man with Wayo II, Chief of Achim Asenho. Thank you very much for your time. Nana Kusibuedum, representing Amentim Otu the 11th, the Paramount Chief of Abra State. Thank you very much, Nana. And representative of the Chief of Winneba, led by Neyi Gati Jankuma III. Adontihene of the Winneba traditional area. Thank you very much, and thank you for accepting us into your constituency. Next is the Honorable I call him Son of Man. Honorable Samuel.
Zazu. Zuzazu. Our incoming President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Our incoming First Lady, our incoming first female Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, my own mother, Professor Nana Jenopoko Ejeman. I acknowledge our national executives and the well-established protocol, and of course, our distinguished Right Honorable Speaker. So I am to speak to you on the good governance and combating corruption aspect of our manifesto. And we must all recognize that the only way we can fight corruption, combat corruption, and defeat corruption is by having leadership which is trusted, which is incorruptible, which has the track record of being honest with the Ghanaian people. Character is key. Without the corruption fight cannot be won without to fight corruption and to defeat corruption. By intercepting on a daily basis the evidence, I am glad that with President Mahama interception, the interception of our will happen on the 7th of December 2024. In this fight against corruption, we refuse, we reject that baseless and unfounded claim that the two parties are the same. We are not the same. The NDC is different. People are deceived. It has never happened and will never happen under President Mahama. That was not the only deceit with the 339 million CD National Cathedral demolished, Comsys IT firm demolished, Waterstone Realty Apartment Complex demolished, the Malian ambassador's residence demolished. So we have one leader who is a nation builder. He is building UGMC, building the Ridge Hospital, building the Sayosudoku Hospital, building Terminal 3, building Kumasi Airport, building Tamale Airport, building Ho Airport. And another leader is demolishing, destroying in a deceptive pledge where he says he will not use our taxes. How can you say that these two people are the same, that these two parties are the same? President Mahama did not promise that under his tenure he will make sure that the era of soul sourcing comes to an end. And then we discover in a 2023 Auditor General's report that apparently 87% of cocoa road projects were all single source. And guess what? Baumia's brothers at the center of that saw this under President Mahama. Such naked conflict of interest. We never saw that under President Mahama. So, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that our country is headed in the wrong direction. When you read the Afrobarometer Democracy Risk Report, the wrong direction. That same Afrobarometer says that corruption is at an all-time high. Indeed, if you read the Corruption Perception Index over the last 4 years, we have stagnated. Their best performance is President Mahama's worst performance. So when it comes to good governance, President Mahama is unmatched and unrivaled. I can confirm to you this afternoon that President Mahama's manifesto, the Resetting Ghana Manifesto, has the most far-reaching, is that he says that we are going to have for the first time in our history a state assets registry. We will all as Ghanaians know where our state assets are. In Parliament, for more than 2.5 years, we have been asking them to tell us public lands. They cannot tell us. They cannot publish the list. And yet, on a daily basis, they are selling the state lands. They can't tell us how many bungalows we have. They can't tell us the ambulance spare parts. President Mahama says he is going to launch an impartial, credible inquiry and forensic audit into all of these loots. And for those of you who have been asking, brilliant proposals from President Mahama, how is he going to fund them? Operation Recover All Loot will help us to fund this project a great deal. As we speak, a gentleman called Kari Summers is keeping our $6 million in American Shonky Shakes. Skytrain, $2 million. All of these sums, Ejapa, $12 million. Pualugu, $11.9 million. We as will retrieve all of these looted funds for national they will be totally banned from accessing scholarships. Scholarships will return to the brilliant but needy. I am also excited that President Mahama has indicated, when you go through the manifesto, that he is going to collapse the practice of having a special emoluments commission to deal with only Article 70. We will put together one body, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and then the Emoluments Commission will be put together as one body to take care of wages, to take care of remuneration and the conditions of service of Ghanaians, so that the gulf between Article 71 office holders and the rest of Ghanaian workers, that gulf will be bridged and addressed once and for all. President Mahama is also saying that our friends in the media, he is going to repeal all anti-press freedom laws and fully implement the RTI. The RTI has too many exemptions and too many institutions who are not implementing the right to information law. He is saying that under his watch, he will make sure that we have the full operationalized, carry out their diplomatic assignment in peace and stability. The demolition of embassies because of looting, land grab, state capture is coming to an end. And that is another exciting policy to look out for, in addition to a friendly foreign policy climate that will enhance good governance and deepen partnerships and make us a country that is friendly to all persons. Novinho miego glomba afififiava sugo akpa alakpa abasugo akpa achingli nito over glandua over glagana nana kama nyonyomo ta manifesto ya nana le manifesto ama na amashiama ta ala vavien ba December 7 mi fokaba na mi adakona His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na adonye ya owo 2013 to 2017 na watrava abayiji na Ghana mi atenchi akpo fafa na ingoyi ava na afukpa ya mi kpakpama asugwakpa na ikata na jo akpanami maoneyami miaweva odo akpa. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, MP for Norton. Next is the affable Shamima Muslim, speaking on gender and social protection. She's a distinguished blogger and a feminist, and she's on Facebook and all the associated media networks, but to
the NDC and to His Excellency Dramani Mahama, on behalf of the industrious, hard-working women of Ghana, those who lead, those who birth, those who guide, teach, till the land, feed, nurture this nation, those women who create, innovate, Abiba, Patricia, Adjoa, any of this country, of our dear nation, dreaming new dreams because of this exact moment. On behalf of our dear children, for whom we labor and pray for their protection, their safety, and their growth. On behalf of the resilient citizens who are differently abled and yet show up every day, overcoming daunting barriers to tell us loudly that disability is not inability. On behalf of our aged and infirmed who have broken their backs to build this nation, toiled that their sweat nourishes our dear country, guided us towards the light with